We begin with the part 2, the writing part of the exam scheme. The first question is the question 16. It is to find the perimeter, circumference, and areas of two-dimensional figures. We have a figure here, and they have told us to find the perimeter or circumference. Perimeter in case of all these shapes, but if it's a circle, it'll be circumference. And the area of each figure, if each unit of the graph measures 1 centimeter, round your answers to nearest tenth. Nearest 10 means just write 10. How many zeros are there? So there must be one digit after the decimal point. If your answer is 7.234, you should just write 7.2. Okay, round it off just to one decimal point. That's nearest 10. Now let's solve this problem. Here we can see a two-dimensional figure. The perimeter over here would be the sides, all these sides, sum all these sides up. Now you can count these sides from here to here, or you can just do 9 minus 1. It's the vertical distance. It's always y axis, right? Y. If I consider this as x1, this will be y1. I'll consider this to be x2, y2, and x3, y3. Now to find this height, it's the y coordinate subtracted. 9 minus 1 would be 8. So this distance from here to here is 8, or you can just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till this point only. What about this? Again 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do 4 y x2 minus x1, the previous coordinate. It's 4 minus 0, that's 4. Whenever it's straight lines, it's easy to count. But what about this line over here? This is the hypotenuse. It's 90 degree over here. Hypotenuse. How would we solve it? There are different ways to solve this. The one generally used in the textbook is the distance formula, I believe. The distance formula is given by square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Now here remember, you can even interchange these x2 and x1. You will get the same answer because this difference is squared. So it doesn't matter what, it will be squared. This sign will be positive itself. You can consider over here, this is x2 and 3, that's fine. You can consider 0 as x2 minus 4 the whole square plus, what is y2 over here? So 1 minus 9 the whole square, the square root of this. So it'll be 4 square 16 plus, it is 8, 64 here. Square root of this would be 70, 80. So square root 80 would be the hypotenuse. This is the distance. Another way to solve is if you know the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem is anything that is opposite to the 90 degree angle. This is the hypotenuse. If I consider this to be C and let me take A and B over here, these two are the two distances. So the hypotenuse is the longest length. Square of that will be the sum of the squares of other two sides. What does that mean? It would mean the square of this, I'll write the formula first, a squared plus b squared. So the distance over your hypotenuse would be 8 squared plus 4 squared, and over here we get 64 plus 16, but here it is c squared. So you need to take square root on both these sides. You'll get c is equal to, over here it should be, it'll be the same answer. See, 64 and 16, 64 and 16, it'll be square root 80. So that is the answer. So it should be the same because it is 90 degree over here, and this is the way to do it. It's up to you, whichever way you can choose. Now what next? We have found all the sides. Now just add them all for the perimeter. Perimeter is sum of all the sides. Okay, so if you consider this to be A, B, C, perimeter would be A plus B plus C, and that would be 8 plus 4 plus C. We found out to be square root 80. You can put this in the calculator, you will get the answer and round it off to the nearest 10. What is the area? Area is given as, since this is a triangle, right angle triangle, it will be half base into the height. Remember, this height is the vertical straight line, 90 degree line, height, altitude. It's also called altitude. This 90 degree line, this is a straight line, right? Sorry, that was crooked. But anyways, this line, okay, that would be the height. H is 8. What about base? Base is 4. The slant height is not considered. Half of that. That is the area. So it'll be 1 times 2 times. So 8 times 2 is 16. So area is 16. There is centimeter, right? So it's centimeters square. Remember, here the base is also centimeter, height is centimeter. So 2 centimeter will be squared up when you multiply. Now this one will be only centimeter because you're adding up units that remain the same. The dimension remains the same. Let's take our calculators. You need to add these sides, right? 8 plus 4 plus root 80. This is not the correct, this is the correct answer, but you need to write it in terms of decimal to the nearest tenth. Press this number symbol over here, ST. You'll get 20.94. So this 4 is lesser than the number 5. So you just leave it as 20.9. The answer is 20.9. Let's just check the answer. Yes. It's 20.9 and area we got was 16. And this is the answers. So that is how we solve it up. Now here, if you're thinking why I did so much, I just did 2 different methods. You can choose any one of that. So here also the Pythagoras theorem is used. The distance formula is used over here. So you can use even the Pythagoras and solve it up. Now this is a rectangle here. Similar way, please try this by yourselves. Pause the video now, try it by yourselves and then continue watching it. Now we need to find the sides first. Now look over here, they're all slanted. You can do, say for example, consider this as 90 degree, find this is 2, this is 4, and then find the heights. That is possible. Or you can use the distance formula. The distance formula will generally be used in such cases because it's slanting. It'll be x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. We just now did this, so I will leave this up to you, but I will just mark it out. You need to find at least 2 distances. These opposite are equal. This and this sides are equal. This and this is equal. So find any 2. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Find it out, and then after that you can use this x1 y1 and find it with the x2 y2, or you can do this side. Find both the sides, add them all up. That'll be the perimeter. Perimeter would be sum of all sides. Sum of all the sides gives you the perimeter, whereas area is length into width or length into base, or length into width would be more accurate here, L into W. So you can just take 1 AB multiplied by the line of CB or D. So that would be how we can solve it. See over here the length. Now, which is this length? Over here we have used 7 minus 4. So you can see 7 minus 4. Yeah, you can also make this first. Y2 minus Y1 is also fine because it's adding, okay? So they have done over here 7 minus 4. The Y is first and then the X minus 2 minus 4. Okay, it's like Y, they have considered this to be Y2, Y1. It's fine. Anyhow, you will get the correct answer itself. Just to, reassure it, I will just solve it up. Same A and B, I'll use this formula. It'll be the square root of x2. The x2 I have considered as 4 minus of minus 2. The whole square plus y2 is 4 minus 7 the whole square. And if you simplify this, it'll be minus of minus will be plus. So it'll be 6 squared plus 7 minus 4 is 3, but it's negative 3 the whole square. Now it doesn't matter, it's negative 3. Why? Because it'll be positive anyways when you square any number. So it'll be 36 plus 3 square is 9, and 946 minus 1, it's 45. Square root 45 is the answer. Now let's look over here. It's the same answer. After this length, we can do width. We can select any of these 2 sides and solve it up. Here you can see it is 4 and 4. This is considered, and 0 and 2. These 2 points are considered. And the width is found out. It's root 20. And then when you put it, add the sums over here. Now here, remember the formula for a rectangle for perimeter It's basically add all this. This will be root 45, root 45, root 20 plus root 20. Or you can use 2 times length plus width. This is also possible. Or perimeter formula is given by multiply this 2 inside, 2 times length, 2 times width. So this is what is used. The area is just length into width. And that's it. That's how we solve that. And now here we have a circle. Same concept. Now here you cannot directly find this measure, the radius, right? But the points are given. Just use the distance formula. So I'll directly substitute the formula. It's x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2 the whole square plus 1 minus 3 the whole square. And now you'll get 2 square plus 2 again square. It will be minus 2 square. Here now, instead of squaring and getting 4 plus 4 root 8, we can also consider this to be 2 times 2 square. The square root, so over here the square and square root cancels. You can take this 2 out. 2 root 2 would be the answer. That is the radius. What is the circumference? Circumference would be C is equal to 2 pi r. Now this distance is basically the radius from center to any point of the circle. It's only the radius, not the diameter. So we will use C is equal to 2 pi r. This is the formula for the circumference. And now substitute 2 pi into r is 2 root 2. So it will be 4 pi root 2 or 4 root 2 pi. And what about the area? Area is pi r square. So you basically have to square 2 root 2. The whole square. Over here will be pi. Square of 2 is 4. And over here we will have root 2 times root 2. It's 2. So it will be 8 pi. This would be the area of the circle. So this is how we can easily solve it up. We got over. They have considered root 8, which is same as 2 root 2 itself. It's fine. Oh, I forgot it's nearest 10th. So we need to use our calculators. Let's take our calculators. Here you can see the perimeter, sorry, the circumference. For circle, we don't call it perimeter, it's circumference, is 4 pi root 2 or 4 root 2 pi. That is equal to 17.77, which will correspond to 17.8 centimeter. It's nearest 10. That's the circumference. How do we find area? It is simple, pi r square. So what you can do is, over here already pi is there. Just square, make this term as your r radius value. That is 2 root 2, which we are using. That is same as root 8, okay? That's 8 point. Now I forgot to square it. Pi r squared. The radius will be squared and it's 8 pi. That is what we got. But when you press SD, you will get 25.13. So we write just only 25.1 squared. So that's the area, the circumference. This is same like just now's problem. Now all you need to do is find the distance. You'll find the radius between these 2 points. The distance between those 2 points are the radius. And then you need to use this formula of circumference and area to solve it. Please try it by yourself and then check the solutions. Even over here, we did it just a while ago, but this seems like a square rather than a rectangle. And they have told it's, I mean, you can't find it out to be squared because 2 sides will be equal, okay? Now, the perimeter for a square, you can add up all the sides or you can just write it as 4 times side, because side, 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 there are 4 sides, it's 4 times side, or add them up. And the area is very simple, multiply any 2 sides, but since all the sides are same, you just square it up. And that's it. And we had done the same problem in the first problem in this question. So we had a similar problem where it was a right angle triangle, but it's not a right angle triangle, but the concept is same. Remember here, there is one important thing, one extra step. To find area, we need the vertical, the altitude, the 90-degree line. So you need to find this h as well over here. Okay, so that's it. You need to find the base. Base is very simple, 1 2 3 4 and 1 2. So it'll be 2 minus of minus 4 or minus 4 minus 2. That'll be 6. Basically you're taking only the positive value. And see here, first you can find the distance between these 2 sides. After finding the distance of all these sides, you can just add them up and make it as the perimeter, just adding it up. But the area is important. Area would be base into height. And over here, you can find the distance from here, or you can just count it out 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here it was 6. That's the area. That is the last problem in the question number 16. Please do try solving these problems by yourselves. And if you have any doubts or questions, please post them in the comments. Question number 17 is to find the midpoints in a number line. It is one of the easiest topic in the writing part of the exam scheme. So all you need to remember is a midpoint formula. Midpoint of two things. Say this is a point x1 and this is point x2. Will always be half of these both, right? So it is just add them up, x1 plus x2 divided by 2. That's it. You're finding the midpoint. That's the formula. Now over here, you need to find the midpoint of these points. So K and M, just see what are the points. K is -4, M is 0. So the first point, x1, x2, even if you interchange it, if you consider this as x2, this as x1, you'll get the same answer. So here, -4 plus 0 divided by 2 is equal to -4 by 2, that is -2. Or you can also do it 0 plus 4, -4, sorry, it'll be 0 plus -4 divided by 2. That'll be 0 minus 4 by 2, that is -2 itself. So this is how you solve this. It is the easiest of all. And you can just write the midpoint of the line KM is, over here in this case it's L, that is -2. Same way follow it for the other problems. There's nothing much in this. All the problems are just the same. Only 3 steps, but please write the formula properly. Identify the proper terms. Say L and M, the line L and M. So you need to see where is L. It's at -2 and it's L and P. P is over here at 5. So x1 will be -2, P will be 5, and just write it out. That's it. Please do solve all the problems by yourselves and then check for the answers. You can pause the video any moment and see the solutions. They're just the same. Even these are the same thing. It's just that it's a different number line. And over here they have told D and E. D is over here. The only difference is they have not told you the point D exactly. They have told the other points. So you need to understand 6. And then comes D and then is 8. So D will be 7 over here. That's the only concept, 7. And what about E? E is in between 10 and 11. That's 10 and 12. That's 11. So I'll just do this problem here, the 16th one, A and D. So A is already there, but D is not there. So it's between. So that's the thing. And even for B, it is -1 and D is 7. So x1 plus x2 by 2. This is the midpoint formula. And you need to write it, it's better you write vertically, one step after the other. So A is -4 plus 7 divided by 2. Here it will be 7 minus 4, that is 3 by 2, that is 1.5. That's the answers. That's it. Here they have written it in mixed fraction. It's 1, 1.5, but you can also write it as 1.5 or 3 by 2. It's same. And it's writing part, so the options won't be given. You can write any way. Even if you write this, it's enough. Or you can even write it like this. That's the end of this topic. Please do solve problems. And if you have any doubts, post them in the comments and I'll get back to you very soon. Now we move to the question 18. Please note, this is the updated topic in the exam scheme. It's from the page 631, exercise 7 to 10. It is to find the angle measures for complementary angles. Now, before we begin, a quick reminder and a humble request to all of you. Please do share my videos with your friends and please do subscribe to my channel. If you're finding these videos helpful, please do hit the like button and share it with your friends. I would really appreciate it. Now the question 7 is to find the measure of two angles, but they have given the situation to us. No diagrams, only the situation. This ray BA and BC are perpendicular. The point D lies in the interior of the angle ABC. If the measure of angle ABD is given and measure of angle DBC. Now first we need to draw two lines, okay? They are perpendicular. So and you can see the B is common. So that means, imagine if this is B, I can draw the ray BA, BC. I can even draw BA upwards and BC to the horizontal. It's fine. And then there is a point D. So imagine I'll take a point D over here. It's in the interior inside of this. So this is the line D. Now we can get this angles, right? ABD. So ABD is 3R plus phi, and DBC is phi R minus 27. You need to find this measure. This is fine because we can easily find R now, because we know when we add these two angles, that is ABD plus BDBC, what we will get is 90 degrees because they are perpendicular, so they're complementary. Now what is ABD? They have given it to be 3R plus phi R minus 27 is equal to 90. You can use your calculator and directly find it. I'll solve it over here. 3 plus phi is 8R minus 27 plus phi is negative 22 equals 90. Take 22 to the other side, it will be 8R equals 90 plus 22, that will be 112. Now divide this over here, R will be 80, it will be 14 here. So R is 14. Now you can easily find all these angles, right? So measure of angle ABD would be, ABD is 3R plus phi, that is 3 times 14 plus phi. And you can just multiply this, it'll be 14, 28, 42 plus phi, it's 47 degrees. Now if you know one is 47, then the other one can be easily found out by subtraction, 90 minus 47, or you can do this over here. We know DBC is equal to phi R minus 27 degrees. So phi times 14 minus 27. So 140 is half is 70 minus 27. Here we have 50 minus 7 is 43 degrees. And yes, 90 minus 47 is also 43 degrees. So this is how we solve this particular problem. So make a rough diagram, then understand what is given and then solve it up. So R is 14, then we got 47 and 43. That is the answers. We can look at this problem as well, because over here they have told intersecting at a point V. So now we have a line WX and then YZ, and they intersect at a point V, and they have given the measure of the angles. So let's just draw two random lines. I'm drawing it perpendicular. Why? Because they have clearly mentioned over here they are perpendicular. WX, imagine this is WX and this is YZ. They are perpendicular. Okay. And now then the point V is where they intersect. This is the point where they are intersecting, V. Now measure of W, V and Y over here. This measure is given, it's 90 degree, we know that, but they have given that to be 4A plus 58, and measure of X, V, Y, this measure is given to be 2B minus 18. So find the value of A and B such that these both are perpendicular to each other. Now don't go to add them all up and make it equal to 180 because there are two different variables. Now what you need to do is the measure of WVY is equal to 90 degrees. So I know 4A plus 58 must be 90 degrees. Solve it up. 4A is equal to 90 minus 58. We will have 32 over here. 32, and over here it's 4A. A is equal to 8. But they have not asked, okay, they have asked to find A itself. Because obviously this is 90. I thought we had to substitute back and solve. No, don't do it, because if you substitute back A to be 8, it will be 90 degrees. We already know that. Now that is done. Now from the other part, x, v, y, we know 2b minus 18 must be equal to 90, and now solve it. It'll be 2b equals 90 plus 18, that is 90 plus 18 is 108, and it's 2b, so it'll be 54 here equals b. So the answer for A is 8 and B is 54. That's the answers. So very straightforward, but it's better to draw this figure and then solve it up. And we have a figure in this problem. Refer to the figure at the right. If the measure of angle 2 is given as A plus 15. Okay, let's just write it out over here. A plus 15. What about this measure of angle C? They have given it as A plus 35. And we need to find the measure of A such that HL is perpendicular to HJ. They have already given it's 90 degrees, so that's enough. We know this is 90 degree. When you add this up, it must be 90. So it is just A plus 15. You should write the angle, say JHK plus KHL is equal to 90 degree. Now what I mean is, just measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 equals 90 degrees, and then substitute it. Plus A plus 35 equals 90. Now solve it up. It will be 2A. Now 15 plus 35 is 50 equals 90. Solve, take 50 to the other side. It will be 2A equals 90 minus 50. 2A equals 40 and A is equal to 20. That's it. So A value is found out, and we have not been asked to solve for measure of angle 2 or 3. So this is it. A is done. But if they are asked find the measure of angle A, then you need to substitute this back over here. So then what would have happened? A plus 15, that is equal to 20 plus 15, that is 35. And same thing over here, but they have not asked this part, so I'm not going to write this. They have just asked you the value of A, and we have found it out. That's the answer. A is 20. Figure is given. It's very easy. And now this one is just like the first problem. They have told these both are perpendicular and a point is lying in the interior. So here they have given you what's ADB and BDC. I'll just draw the figure if you're getting confused. So DA and DC. So if I have this as D, I'll take this as A and this as C. It must be perpendicular. It must be exactly 90 degrees. Anyways, both the lines are crooked, but that's 90 degree. And there's a point B lying in between. So imagine this is the point. It's not accurate. It's just a random point. And now over here, we know ADB is 3A plus 10 and BDC is 13A. So when you add these 2 points, what do you get? You get 90 degrees. So it's 3A plus 10 plus 13A equals 90. You solve for A. A is 5. And then they have asked you to solve for the measure of ADB and BDC. So substitute A back over here in ADB and BDC, and you will then get the answer. So that's the measures 25 and 65, and there you go. This is the answer. Please note this is the figure, a rough sketch. Please draw a rough sketch and then you can get the answers easily. That's the end of this topic. I hope you have found it helpful. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. The question 19 is to calculate surface areas and volumes. For this question, you need to know the formulas of surface areas and volume for different shapes. Now here, few of the important things is perimeter of the base is P. S is the total surface area, V is the volume, B is the base of area, H is the height of the solid, L is slant height, and R is radius. We will look into some problems. See, everything is worked out over here in detail. It's just that the formulas needs to be known. But there's few important things. Now look at this figure. What do you see? This is the given question. The figure is given to you. We need to find the surface area and volume. We don't want anything else. But can we directly jump to the surface area and volume? No. First, look at this figure. It's a triangular prism. When we look at it, I'm sure you will guess it. It's a prism, but it's triangular over here, so it is a triangular prism. Now here, what do we need to do is perimeter, because the perimeter is required in the surface area. Now, which perimeter? Is it of the square, rectangle, or which side? It's the triangular side. So you need to add this height, base, and what is the slant height? It's given as 4. So add these three dimensions, 2.4 plus 4 and 3.2 over here, and that's how you get the perimeter. Then you will need to find the base. Now again, what's the base? It's the triangle itself, because it's a triangular prism. Now though over here, if you see, it is sitting upon the base of rectangle or square, but actually it's a triangular prism. The base is also triangular itself. So you need to find the base of this. Half base into height, that is the surface area or area of this base. That is half, base is 3.2 and 2.4. Area of a triangle is half base into height. That's how we get the base. And now we put it in the formula of surface area. The volume is simple. Once you know the base, see, this is the base, right? When you find the base, the area of this base, that is basically the cross section of this particular part. But when you multiply by the height, get it for each and every line over here. So each cross section. So basically base into height would give you the volume. But the surface area is very important, because surface area is basically all the surfaces. You can see these all surfaces, right? We need to find that. So this is given by the formula 2 times base, and then we have height times the perimeter, and that will give us the surface area. It's all substitution. Once you find the perimeter, the base, substitute it over here, you will get the answers. Same way you can solve the others over here. All you need is surface area, which is 26.9. They have asked to the nearest tenth, and then the volume, that is 7.7 cubic centimeter. Now here we have a cylinder. Now for the cylinder, it is a circular base. Remember, though it is now horizontal, don't think it's a rolling. We assume this base to be circular base. Now here we know it's about pi r square. But it's not just pi r square. The surface area is given as 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r square. And then the volume of a cylinder, you need to memorize this because it's important in the higher grades as well. It's pi r square h. So cylinder is something we might come across in the other grades as well. So just substitution, because they have given the radius, they have given the height. That's it. R and H is required. You see, all the others are known values. Now put this entirely in the calculator, you will get the answer and round it off to the nearest tenth. Same with volume, only R and H is unknown. So that's it. What about this one? Now here, this is having a base of 16, 16. This is a pyramid, but it is having a square base, not rectangular, square base. So that is important. It's having a square base pyramid. Now then you can find the perimeter. What's the perimeter of the square? 4 times the side, 16 times 4, or you can add 16 4 times. And what is the base? It's square of the side, right? 16 square. And then you can use the formulas of the surface area and volume and directly find it out. So this is just knowing the formulas and then substituting and solving it up. So please do the other problems by yourselves. Please remember the formulas. It's not easy, but please make an attempt to by heart the formulas, and then it'll be easier. Now this is similar to the first problem we solved. It's just that it is rectangular prism. It's prism, but it's having a rectangular base. You can see it's not same sides. It's 5 times 2. So first find the perimeter. Perimeter is given by 2 times length plus 2 times width. It is 2 times 5 plus 2 times 2. And then base is length into width, and then the surface area formula and the volume. Base into height, and the surface area is given by perimeter times height plus 2 times base. And here we have a cone. This is also having a circular base because cone always has a base of circle. Now, radius needs to be found out. They've given you the diameter. Diameter is 2 times the radius, the entire length. Now, half of this is basically the radius. So, just 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So that's the radius, and then you just have to use the formula. Over here, there is another important thing. You should know the height, the vertical distance is the height. Okay, that is h. It is used in the volume only, but in the surface area, it's the slant height. Slant height can be found out by Pythagoras theorem. This much is phi, the radius is phi, this height is 12, so use Pythagoras theorem and find the slant height. But here they have already given you the slant height, so you do not need to find it. You already have it directly substituted. L is the slant height, h is the vertical height, 90-degree line. The h is also the altitude. So that's how we do this problem. And this is a sphere. Please do remember the formulas. Sphere is pretty simple because you only have radius. There's nothing else. All you need to know is radius and then the formulas. Surface area is given by 4 pi r square and the volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So that's how we solve them. Please remember the formulas, practice more problems, and it will be very easy. The question 20 is to calculate the measure of angles for which the angles are supplementary or complementary. Here, let's read the question. Find the measure of two supplementary angles if the difference between the measure of two angles is 35 degrees. Now, they have not told us anything about the two angles, the measure of two angles, but they have just told supplementary and their differences. Now, if they are supplementing, it's more than 90, it's 180 degree. What is 180? When you add these two angles, now if I take that as x1 plus x2, you will have 180 degrees. Now just imagine, if you want to find them in terms of a single term, I will consider this x1 to be just x. Okay? Now let me write this only as x. What is x2? I need to take this to the other side. x2 will be equal to 180 minus x, isn't it? So I can write x plus 180 minus x is equal to 180 degrees. And yes, this cancels out and it is balanced. So I can write the measure of first angle. You can write it as sentence. First angle as x. And now you can consider this to be the larger or the smaller. Now, if you consider this to be smaller, in your calculation, you don't have to multiply the minus sign. I'll consider this to be smaller angle. And second angle will be x2, that is 180 minus x. This, let it be as larger angle. We are assuming this. Why do we want to know larger, smaller? Because here they have told the difference between the measures of the two angles. That means when you subtract the larger minus the smaller, you must get 35 degrees, right? So when I subtract the larger minus smaller, that is 35 degrees. What is the larger angle? It is 180 minus x minus smaller angle is x is equal to 35, and here it will become 180 minus 2x is equal to 35. Take 180 to the other side, it will be negative 2x is equal to minus 180 to the other side is minus 35 minus 180 would be 145. Now divide both the sides by 2, you're going to get the answer. X is equal to, by minus 2, sorry, divide by minus 2 by minus 2. X will be 75 minus 2.5, it's 72.5 degrees. Then we can find the large angle. This is the small angle. Now if you're thinking, why should I take this as smaller itself? Can I take this as larger? Yes, you can take this as larger, this as smaller. I'll show you now. The same thing, it'll just be x minus 180 minus x, that is equal to 35. It will definitely work, no problem at all. Now here you need to multiply the minus sign inside. Why I avoid this is generally students tend to do the mistake of not multiplying the minus sign to the second term. You might forget to multiply to both the terms. If you do not forget it, then it's fine to do any method. But if you're forgetting it, then always take the single term as smaller, the larger let it have both the terms. Here if you see now, it will be minus 180 plus x is equal to 35. Now we will have x plus x, that is 2x, equals this 180 to the other side will be 35 plus 180, and we will have 2x is equal to 215. Now divide both the sides by 2, you will have 107.5. So it will be 107.5. This will be the now larger angle, because we assume this to be larger, and yes, x is larger. You will get both the angles. But now I've just done to show you it doesn't matter. You can subtract any angle and other angle and you must equate it, but you must do it properly. So I hope this part is clear. You can use anything, but always try to take x as smaller and use the first method which I did, because you will not have the issue of multiplying the negative sign inside the terms. So now if you have done so much, it's not over. You need to find the other angle, right? So how you would do that is, you found out x, just substitute over here. So this is done. We just tested that. Now here you are 180 minus x. That's it. That's the second angle, right? The larger angle, second angle. So all you need to do is, you found x, so you just do 180 minus 72.5, and that will be 100 and 107.5. That is the answers. So the answers are 72.5 and 107.5. So that's it. So here the same method is told. I think so. Yeah, even over here, they have considered 180 minus x as the larger and x as the smaller. You can interchange it. I've already showed it. You will get the same answers, correct answers. Now, what about this one? Angle E and angle F are complementary. The measure of E is 54 degrees more than the measure of F. Now we know that they both are complementary. So when you sum them up, when you sum angle E plus angle F, you must get 90 degrees. Complementary means 90, supplementary is 180. The measure of E is 54 degrees more than the measure of F. So what you can do is, let's consider X to be, say, angle F. Okay, angle F is X. So what is angle E? 54 more than F, right? So it will be X plus 54. That's it. Now we can just substitute. E is X plus 54 degrees plus F, that should be 90 degrees. Here we will have 2X plus 54 is equal to 90. Take this to the other side. It will be 90 minus 54. And in the left side we have 2X. Now at the right side, we will just solve 90 minus 54, that is 30 plus 6, it's 36. Here we have 2x, so divide both the sides by 2, you will have x is equal to 18. You can just use the calculators for this. And then once you have found x as 18, that is angle F, what is angle E? So it is 18 plus F. So angle E will be equal to 54, 64, 72. That's the answer, 72 degrees and 18 degrees. So there you go, these are the answers. It's very simple, just read the question and then you'll understand. Now again, it's about supplementary. They have told one angle is less than the other. Just like what we have done a while ago, consider the two angles. Now here one is x and one more is x minus 76. When you add them up, it should be 180 and you can easily solve them up. Once you find x, find the other angle. Don't forget to find the other angle, because both the angles needs to be solved. Once you know x is 128, minus 76 will be the other angle. Please do these by yourselves. Complementary means 90 degree. Here it's just like what we did a while ago. You can see all the methods are shown here. Now here the fifth question, this is interesting because they have told the measure of a supplement of an angle is 3 times the measure of the angle. Now imagine the smaller angle is considered to be x. Then what is the other angle? It will be 3x. So they are supplementary, right? They have told it supplement. So when you add them up, it should be 180 degrees. So it is 4x is equal to 180 degrees. So here it will be 40. 45, 45, 45 4 times is 180 and x. So x is 45. What about this? Multiply 45 times 3, you will have 135 degrees. So 135 degree and 45 degree are the measures. So this is it. So they have clearly mentioned over here, let x be the measure of small angle and 3x is supplement. Add them up, you must get the answer. Now let's do this one as well. The bascule bridge. A bascule bridge is basically a bridge which opens up. Whenever a ship or a big naval vessel is coming in, this bridge can open up. They're called bascule bridge. Shown is opening from its horizontal position. That means it was flat. It's opening up now to its fully vertical position. Okay, it'll open up like this, fully vertical, both the sides. It'll be complete vertical. So far, the bridge has lifted 35 degrees. So this is 35 degrees as of now. In 21 seconds, at this rate, how much longer will it take for the bridge to reach its vertical position? It's about 90 degrees, right? Vertical position. So it's like a rate problem. We need to find the seconds. How much time still is remaining? So let's just write this. We know for 35 seconds, it has take 35 degrees, it has taken 21 seconds, right? So for 90 degrees, how many seconds will it take? Just cross multiply here. The x goes to the other side, will equal to 21 times 90 by 35. Just put it in the calculator now. So I have just written 20 times 90 by 35. So it will take 54 seconds. So x is 54 seconds to open up 90 degrees. But here, if you look at the question, they have clearly told how much longer will it take to reach its vertical upright position, right? So we need to subtract 54 minus 21 because 21 seconds is already done. So 21 minus 54 will be 33 seconds it will take to reach upright position, the vertical position. If you want to directly find 33, that is also possible. Here you should just do like this, 35 degrees, right? So 90 minus 35 degrees is what amount of degrees remaining? It'll be 55 degrees. So what you need to write is over here 55, and then if you put in the calculator, you will get the exact answer. So I'll just show you over here. All you do is instead of 35 is done. Instead of 90, you must put 55 degrees, and you can see it's 33 seconds. So the final answer will be 33 seconds. 33 seconds remaining to reach 90 degrees. That's how we can easily solve it up. Please do practice all these problems in writing by yourselves, and if you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. Question 21 is to draw the net for the given three-dimensional figure. Here we can see we have a prism. And which type of prism is this? We can see it's a rectangular prism because the base and the width are not same. So first what you need to do is, best way to draw a net is to start with the base. Now, what is this net? It's like, imagine you're cutting this open. You're cutting it somewhere open, and you're putting all these, these sides on the surface. See, now the base would be something like this, isn't it? Then you're cutting the next side open and opening it up. And then the above side, you're cutting and opening it up, and the last side. So this would be 1. The face which you're just seeing from here is 2, the above face is 3, and the behind face is 4. So that will be something 4 like this, 4 rectangular surfaces. And then can you see the sides are also there? So you can, if you have, say, opened this up here in the first place itself, that would have come over here. Okay, this part. So that is like 3 and 3, or you can draw it in the left side, it's fine. And then you can draw the other side also over here itself. You can say open up this one over here and this one over here down itself. But generally what we do is we start with this base and open it up. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 at the last one we keep the other one at the other side. So this is how we do it. And this is 6, 3, 3. Over here it's 3, over here it's 3. My drawings are not that accurate. Now let's see the actual drawings. You can see the base over here is 6 and 3 feet. And then you can open up all the other surfaces. These are all the rectangular surfaces. And then you can add up the sides, the square sides. So this is how we get the net for any solid object. It was similar. Now mine is not, I mean, this is only the difference, but that's fine. This and this, it's fine. As long as you've drawn this or this, you will get the full marks. Now here we have a circle and then we have a cylinder. So what we can do is, see, when you open up this, now imagine you cut it out over here and you open up, it's gonna be the circle, it'll be a like flat thing, right? Because imagine you cut the sides open. But what about this top surface? That will be a circle no matter what. But then you will cut this out open, you will get something like this, and then one more circle at the bottom. So this is how it might look. And you can see over here there is a circle. Obviously this cannot be changed. That will be a circle surface. And then you open up this. Imagine you open it up. Now I have done a little bit wrong because when you open it up, now we need to use our imagination over here. So this part remains, this over here only, that's the circle. And then imagine you start opening this. Okay, whatever we did is also absolutely right, no problem. Now they are telling they will just open it up like this, like the down part, downwards. This cylinder part, cut it, it's something like this, right? You cut it open and then you open it up, the side and the side. I hope you're getting how we do this. And then what we do is basically there is one more base, right? So there's one more circle. So you can try opening up a cylinder or say a plastic bottle, which is not so cylindrical, but still when you open it up, you will get a rectangular shape. So this is how we do this. And all the others are just the same. This is a square prism. So we can easily do this up. Do the squares first and then the sides. And that's the answer. What about a cone? Now, a cone will have a circle. Obviously, it's having a circular base over here. But what about this part? Now, that's not going to be straight. So this part, doesn't matter what, it'll be something like this, right? Even if you cut it any part, it's going to be something like this. It's not a cylinder, okay? So please remember, it'll be something like this. It depends on the dimensions. This is 8 inches and this is however long it is. It won't be a circle, obviously, because when you open it up, if you have a cone, just cut it out and open it up and you will realize this is what you can see. Now this is again a cone itself, same thing what we just now did, but this is a real world. And now you can see here it's like too big, because this is sort of a tent and you will get a bigger circle. That's the only difference. And over here it's 12 feet and the diameter is 20 feet. And over here, the outer part is not considered, only the circular base is considered. This circle and the thickness over here is given as 2 inches and then the bottom. So you will have a circle and then a rectangle and then a circle again. We have done this already. So if you're thinking, how is this? See, this is the circular base. Then this part, can you see this thin part, right? It's 2 inches. So that is opened up. And then again, the diameter of this is 5 inches. So that's it. This is just a simple understanding problem. Please try to understand how you're opening up the solid figures and then you can easily solve it up. And there we have reached the end of the writing part of the EOT. I hope you have found it helpful. Please do share my videos with your friends and your classmates. If you have benefited from these, please do hit the like button. Practice all the problems by working out yourselves, and if you have any doubts, post them in the comments and I will get back to you very soon. Take care guys. I wish you all the best and happy learning.